So Eddie, how much do you know about the relationship between the rising crime rates in the 80s and any of the economic concepts?
I don't know, but I bet the crime rates will look better after this.
So Shannon, at an economic standpoint, how would you compare the crime rates and a monopolistic competition?
What? What's your question again?
So, do you think we need more police reinforcement?
Yeah, because if you watch movie like Transformers, aliens invaded the Earth, and you know who protected the Earth? It's Autobots, not police officers. Police officers in America, they always just sit and then eat donuts with coffee. What's wrong with America?
Hey Nick. What do you think about capital punishment?
It's not a laughing matter, Pokemon. But I disagree with it.
Simple enough. Everything happens for a reason, and they affect the outcome of things that are to happen. We call this causality. Causality. For those that don't, we refer them as correlation.
So with the appropriate data and analysis, we can further explore and even conclude some of the main reasons for the drop in crime rates, thus explaining the importance of identifying a causality and a correlation.
Now, let's get in deeper and answer the question. Where have all criminals gone?
So with the help of Wikipedia, Brigham and I came
No Wikipedia. Not Wikipedia. No.
So I mean vast knowledge and research data. Brigham and I came up with a total of 5 different hypotheses about the lowering of the crime rates.
These include having a strong economy, an increase in capital punishment, increased police, reinforcement, tougher gun law, and changes in drug market.
Little do we know, only 3 of them works, in which we're going to analyze and give support to those hypotheses, and we're going to talk about why these 3 reasons work, and then while the others don't. Dude, check this out.
What the heck? Having a strong economy, does it really help reducing the crime rates? The answer would be no. After a simple data collection, we determined that although a better off economy reduces 1% in unemployment rate and 1% drop in non-violent crimes, the violent ones stayed unchanged. What's worse is that when there's a better welfare in the market and in general public, people actually gains higher incentives to commit more crime.
Next off, we're going to talk about the increased use of capital punishment. Though it may seem like a common sense that people think the death penalty will most likely hinder the numbers of crime rates, right? But yet, studies have proved it wrong again. The irony lies within introducing 2% execution rate will actually put a rise to a 7% of gang homicide rates. With an increase in number from 14 to 66 execution within 10 years and 364 more homicides, relatively speaking. Nevertheless, the deterrent effect was that a death penalty has contributed in a maximum of 1 in a 25th drop in the 90s crime rates, but the rest couldn't be regulated through capital punishment, thus disproving its significance in the drop in crime rates. Let's move on.
We have 2 theories regarding the increase in police reinforcement. One is the improvement in police strategy, and the other one is the increase in the number of police officers. Increasing the number of police officers is a correlation to the crime rate. No matter how much the quantity is, it won't change any outcome regarding the crime rates. What matters is the quality. For example, one way police have reacted to the increasing crime rate, is by arresting and punishing minor crimes such as stealing, vandalism. It turns out that the fear of committing major crimes have increased, and a research showed that in the late 90s, overall crime rates dropped about 45%. It's not really the numbers that change the game, but it's rather the innovation and strategy that enable the police officers to fight off the crime rates.
So as we move on to compare some of the similarities and differences in the toughening of gun laws and some of the changes in the drug market, it's easier for us to spot out and differentiate who might be a correlation and who might be a causality. In short, a causality is a subset of correlation. Did you know that men in Switzerland were all given a gun for self-defense? However, this place is deemed one of the safest countries in the whole wide world. While in the States, back in the early 90s, the Brady Act restricts the gun market and has forced its people to have a higher incentive to buy its own guns through the black market, thus causing it to blossom. In the end, it's all about a game having efficiency will outweigh and overpower equality, or it's going to be the other way around. So a guy named John R. Lott Jr. has even wrote a book about supporting and let loose the gun laws in the US and draw more guns onto the market. Well, it turns out that guy wrecked the data, and then it further disapproves that the gun laws have any minimum impact on the reduction of the criminals. That's why we concluded this hypothesis as a correlation. Meanwhile, the changes in the drug market has proved a strong support for its arguments. Since the usage of crack are shrinking by the time we're talking, the dealers wanted to secure their profits and tries their best to dominate and become a monopoly in the market. This issue has gotten so bad that the dealers actually started killing off each other over a few bucks for that matter. According to the research data, more than 25% of crime rates back then were drug-related, and eventually by ceasing these actions had contributed an overall 15% drop of the overall crime rates. The drug dealers tries their best to minimize the debt weight losses through eliminating and killing off other firms, which I'm pretty sure that worked out just fine. So, with all that statements and data combined, we can easily figure out that a changing drug market will eventually be a causality for the reduction of the crime rates.
Basically, this video can be concluded through support and reasons to determine a hypothesis, whether it's going to be a correlation or a causality.
So finally, through the studying of data and comparing of different hypotheses and theories, it will be easier for us to confirm or defer those assumptions.